How's it going, everyone? Your boy Corey here, aka Crasher, back with a new video, and ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we resolve a brand new discussion taking place from a Dexerto article that is titled, Pokemon Go players slam major Pokeball shortage with Spotlight Hour and Go Fest. Oof, this sounds interesting. Let's have a look. With Pokemon Go Fest launching in July 2021, some players are complaining about the Pokeball and item storages. Angry users have hit out at Niantic for draining their resources with the major event on the horizon. With the series celebrating its 5th anniversary in July, it's a busy time for Pokemon Go players. Only a few weeks later, on July 17th, the mobile title will also hold its massively popular Go Fest. Despite the flurry of exciting events, some players are claiming that they are suffering a shortage of Pokeballs and resources. Trainers worry they will be out of items before the annual event even begins. The discussion was kicked off on the r/Pokemon Go forum after several players complained about the Pokemon Go 5th anniversary event coinciding with the game's weekly Spotlight Hour on July 6th. Users were concerned about how quickly they were draining their berries and Pokeballs with Go Fest only a few weeks away. You sure as hell won't have any resources left for Go Fest if you plan on playing much for this next week. This event obviously only exists to drain resources before the start of Go Fest, Player Exclusive Styles wrote, hitting out at the game's current state. The trainer then listed an example of how quickly they were using up in-game resources while participating in the July events. 5 minutes and 15 balls to catch a Trico? Thanks, but no thanks, Niantic. I just won't play. Other players backed up the user's sentiment, sharing similar experiences. One fan wrote, I went through 200 Pokeballs yesterday. Another exclaimed, I used 12 regular balls against a Bulbasaur last night before it ran away. I closed the game. While some fans pointed out that the 5th anniversary event rewards players with 80 Pokeballs, one fan shot this down and responded, I've already spent resources rare than 80 Pokeballs doing this. Point is that people who haven't got the Pokestop density near them to recover their resources should consider ignoring this challenge. Pokemon Go players also took to social media sites like Twitter to voice their concerns, such as a player who tweeted, is it me or is this Spotlight Hour a resource drain by Niantic just to buy more balls from them before Go Fest? A second posted, I don't think berries even matter in Go Fest or what type of Pokeballs you use on them, or if the throw is great, spent 10 Pokeballs, 20 Ultras, and spent almost all of my Great Balls. I'm out of Pokeballs again. While many voiced their concerns about a Pokeball shortage, other users argued that they had not had any problems losing resources. A major issue the game has faced since its launch is Pokestop population and how some simply do not live by any, if at all. This could explain the vastly different experiences trainers have. It should also be pointed out that in the past, Niantic has given the community a large number of Pokeballs at the start of each Go Fest, so this year's annual event could see a similar reward, although it is not guaranteed and doesn't solve all the issues that users are complaining about. Only time will tell if the developer takes action to address the complaints. Okay, so now that we have ourselves the context on the table, it's time for my analysis/thoughts on this, and this right here is what I have to say. Now, obviously, we know that Pokemon Go, in many ways, shape, and form, is not fair to the majority of the Pokemon Go player base. Let's just make that real freaking clear first and foremost. And honestly, yeah, Go Fest is coming up, and that right there is the biggest event of the year for the player base and for Pokemon Go themselves, because that's where all of the craziest things takes place. And that right there is where you need to save your resources and put everything you can into that event. But if you find yourself having a drain on resources because of Spotlight Hours and other events that are a lot less than Go Fest, then my recommendation, I know it's a lot easier said than done, and I don't mean to come off as a douchebag or anything like that, but simply put, don't do them, or do them very lightly. If you find that you are draining your resources too much, then I would simply close the game and not do those events further and save your resources for when it really counts, aka GoFest. But at the same time, let's think about this, and I don't want this to come off as me just slipping in another jab at Niantic. I'm being 100% legitimate here when I say this. It would not surprise me if this right here was actually premeditated by Niantic. Hear me out on this. So we have GoFest, right? AKA the granddaddy of them all when it comes to the Pokemon Go community. Now, we have all of these lesser events taking place when it comes to the game, such as Spotlight Hours and raids and all that stuff, and those naturally are a real drain on resources depending on how hard you work at those events. Now, if you are to the point where you are in dire straits going into GoFest, you're thinking, it's like, well, shit, it's like, I don't have hardly any resources at all. What do I do? Well, here's the thing. You open your wallet and you buy Pokeballs with Pokecoins that you purchase, so that way you can not feel as screwed over going into GoFest not having any resources. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, it would not surprise me if this was premeditated by Niantic, but at the same time, this might be a reach here. However, this would not be the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that Niantic has pulled some shady-ass shit when it comes to the fans and their game. A couple of examples that ring off the top of my head would be the Dragon Week, where they advertised Shiny Dino being within the batch, and hardly anybody hatched Dino, period. How about as well the ticketed events, such as for Galarian Mr. Mime? That right there was a fucking shitfest and a half, I'll tell you what. But those are just my thoughts. Now, to sum everything up, what I would recommend to all of you guys, and I know it sounds like it's going to be a thank you Captain Obvious kind of thing, but just hear me out on this. If you are really looking forward to Pokemon Go Fest 2021, then my recommendation would be to seriously refrain from utilizing your resources pointlessly, and especially if you happen to live in an area that has very little, if not actually no Pokestops at all, then I would seriously be very frugal with your resources. Don't throw any Pokeballs unless you absolutely have to, you know, to get your catch of the day or what have you. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really sure what else I can say here, so I'm going to end the video off here. So I want to say thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. Leave your thoughts and your comments down below. I always love to hear you guys out. Have yourself a damn good one, guys, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.